Steve Pechenik, and this is Steve Talks. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America. This is Dr. Steve Pechenik. This week we had quite a momentous event, the G20 meeting, which is the meeting among the 20 leading nations in terms of trade and political alliances. From the point of view of the United States, it was really not a very big event, nor was it very relevant. The truth of the matter is, Trump is correctly saying, you know what, we're leaving. We're leaving and making America number one. The reason for that is very simple. The trade has always been asymmetric. The currency flows between America and other countries have always been favoring the other country, not our country, in terms of export. The real relevance to the G20 conference is the fact that Angela Merkel, who wants to be seen as the primary leader of the G20, is really not all that relevant. I admired her for a long time. She's been in power for well close to 2 decades. She's a PhD in nuclear physics. She comes out of East Germany. In many ways, she has a lot more characteristics and quality that lead her to be closer to Putin than we are, but that's not exactly correct. Angela Merkel really will lead the G20, and in time she will be no longer the Chancellor of Germany. What will remain is that Putin and the United States will increase our bilaterals. And why do I say that? Number one, the meeting between Putin and Trump, despite everything the press said, was really quite significant. And the reason for that is that Putin, in his own way, has always admired what Trump did. For Putin, who came out of the East German intelligence and worked his way up the political ladder with the assistance of our CIA and our intelligence community, became the primary power in Russia. In turn, he became a multi-billionaire. Legal or illegally, it's not relevant. In reverse, Trump started in the billionaire world, made his fortune there, and then acquired power. So each man is looking at the other with a certain amount of admiration. But the pièce de résistance was the picture between Melania Trump and Putin. This woman is absolutely gorgeous, sophisticated, and an amazing representation of America. And Putin understands this very well. What he was looking at and what he was thinking is the following: how fortunate this woman was, who grew up in a communist country underneath the penumbra of the Soviet Union. Her father was a leading member of the Communist Party and eventually left it. And she, in turn, was so strong in her own personality that she left Slovenia, went to Paris, became a model, but in turn also made something very much of herself to become the First Lady of the United States. It is a wonder for Putin to look at this kind of beauty and say to himself, my God, we in the East Europe, in Russia particularly, we developed a lot of talented women. And please also remember that Ivana Trump, his first wife, Trump's first wife, was from the former Czechoslovakia under the Soviet Union. So Putin has a lot of emotional contact and relationship with Trump himself, the sons, the daughters, and the wife. He has a great admiration for what Trump did and in turn wants to work with Trump. The notion that Russia had effectively determined the outcome of the election is absolutely absurd, because Russia could care less as to who the leader would be, because for the most part the Russians knew already that Trump had been very successful in business. Trump had been very successful in collating a group together who'd been involved in the Republican politics. We don't get involved in the Russian hierarchy, and the Russian hierarchy doesn't get involved with us. So I would like to remind the fake press, which now is going to say, is asking the Congress to create a bargaining organization on behalf of the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, so that they can in turn sue Google and Facebook for monopoly. In simple terms, that means the fake press is dying and it's on its deathbed. Now let me give you a quote from Heinrich Heine, the famous German poet and writer. He said, "When the sophisticated actors leave the stage, the clowns and fools will return." And with that, I bid you farewell. Hi, this is Dr. Steve Chenik. This is Steve Talks.